Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
I'm Cole, and I'm playing Olaroon Dawnseeker, the ASMR Paladin Warlock.
I'm Megan. I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Glamour Bard.
I'm Eric, and I'm playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy y'all, this is Maz. I'll be playing Talroth Openblade, the Wood Elf Scout.
And I'm Carlos. I'll be playing Thosen Fahrenheit, the half-orc tiefling Forge Cleric.
Okay, so before we get into tonight's adventure, do we have any other announcements we would like to make? What have you guys got going on?
Make sure you vote tomorrow.
Yes.
If you haven't
already.
If you have not voted already, if you have not voted early, definitely get out and do your voting. If you decided to vote by mail but you have not put that in the mail, your probably best bet is to drop it off at a polling station to make sure that it gets counted in a timely fashion. So
I would intend that's not your best bet, that is your only bet.
Yes, that is... that should not be the way it is, but unfortunately that is the way it is. So, do yourself a favor and participate in your civics.
And if you have voted by mail, check to make sure that it has been received. Because if it has not, you can still go in and vote in person.
Yes. Another important bit of information. So, other than that, is there anything else that we need to share and or talk about?
I think the only thing I have, for Junk Drawer Show, for anybody that also follows us on there, just giving you guys a heads up, we're taking the next 3 weeks off just for mental health reasons, work reasons, personal life, and whatnot. So check us out. We're gonna start coming back at the beginning of December, but at least for the next 3 weeks, Junk Drawer will be dark. But in the meantime, come check us out here at Random Encounters.
Yes, awesome.
If any of you all are music teachers or you know a music teacher, my fiance is making fantastic teaching aids for you to use, fantastic rhythm play-along videos to some original songs and some of your favorite songs from video games. It is at a YouTube channel called Ready Go Music. So go there, check them out, and it's all free, and you can plug it up on your screen and watch the kids clap along or play along or however you want to teach them. So Ready Go Music.
All right, so I think that is most of everything, my friends. Other small notes coming from us here at the Rep. We are going to be dark tomorrow, so we are not going to be having the normal Storm King's Thunder. What we may do instead is we may stream a video game, because sitting around and staring at your phone or the TV is not healthy, and is not something one should... by that point, you've done everything you can do, and you can, try to have a decent day. So we're not going to do our normal Storm King's Thunder. We're not going to have like a heavy RP night, but we may do something where, we can try to have a watch party, or we can, play something like Diablo, where we yell about dicks at each other and sort of mindlessly fight the forces of hell. Or Ghost of Tsushima, or like I may be doing lots of different like video game streams throughout the day, just to try to help alleviate. Yeah, maybe we can do a Jackbox or something. We'll figure some stuff out. But it is not going to be our normal show. But we want to offer company and commiseration and a little bit of distraction. All at the same time, in a lighthearted way. So, that is going to be that. Thursday, A to Z Monstrosities is back on the Patreon. We are going to continue, I think, for maybe through the end of the year, at least for November. we're going to start to do a pre-show of A to Z on Mondays before Disaster. So I did that today from about 6 to 7, and then so it might be something similar to that. I think those are going to have pre-made monsters that I build ahead of time. Thursday, the difference is I'll be building the monster with you guys, and you have to be part of the Patreon to get all of that content and items and all of that fun stuff. But it was great, and we made some new friends, and we would like to continue to. Yes, Meg.
Excuse me. The monsters that you do before the game, might they be showing up in the game that day? And if so, would it be cheating if we watched and wrote down stats?
You guys are always welcome to watch. We're going through the monster manual alphabetically. So, if we make it to a beholder by the time I have made a beholder, you may write those down. But I do not anticipate you guys running into any of the things I've made so far. Although some of them are, they're all pretty dangerous. They're all party killers. It
We know we've played your games before.
That's
We've been here.
I still remember that Star Song fight, Cody.
oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, these are solo monsters, so they have their own difficulty abilities. The one I presented today was the rug of unwelcoming.
I watched that.
The unwelcome rug. So that was
I love it.
that was
My nickname in college.
joy.
Hello.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's do our game. So, our adventure takes place in the lands of Lichtrak, lands without gods, lands of myth, of legend, of fate being written in blood. Our heroes are part of the Magnus Exploratorium, and they have traveled now quite a ways to... Where did it go? Where'd my picture go? No, those are the old ones. All right.
Yeah, the new one wasn't pinned.
Yep. All right.
I'll find
I'm
it and pin it
prepared.
real quick.
I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional dungeon master on the internet. I know exactly
Found it.
what I'm doing.
Pinning
I
it.
see it. Thank you.
Oh no, it's it says it's pinned already. What?
Vloden
I just did
Sravet. Vloden
Oh, you just did
Sravet.
it.
So you guys have made your way to the town of Vloden Sravet, which is a town on the Blood Gulch River, and is one that sees a lot of trade. And you guys have begun doing some research into the area south of here. The Velxer's Teeth. You had spoken with some arms dealers, some thieves, some different fun people like that. What leads you guys remember having gotten from the citizens of Vloden Sravet?
I was told to speak to a man named Affle the Awful about possibly knowing about some expeditions into Velkstand. I can't say that. Where is it? Velxer's Teeth. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we're almost at the end of dusk
Mm-hmm.
because we left 4 points on the 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
and it took us 3 weeks to get here.
Mm-hmm. So it is the 24th of dusk.
And is mask after dusk?
Yes.
Okay.
Were there any other people that you were told to talk to?
Well, did find out there's a Lord Lennel Klein. If there's somebody we want to talk to about, well, things that might have fallen off the back of a cart.
I think you were. I think that was also in regard to Velxer's teeth. Lennel Klein was specifically about Velxer's teeth, not necessarily to get you any additional items or anything like that. So.
Yeah, from what I remember, from what I have written down, he seemed to be the guy who would know more than what was let on, or know more than what people should know. So it was kind of, at least that's what I had written down.
Sounds good.
I have a question. Whilst I was walking around, could I have asked someone really quickly if there's a brothel in town? Asking for...
Yes, there is. There is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, what would you guys like to do? It is the morning of the 24th. You've had a long rest. What was the name of that tavern/bar you guys?
The whole...
The whole something hole. I just remember hole.
I got it right here. Give me a second.
It was supposed to be hold, but it wound up being hole because someone thought it was funny.
Gaffrin's Hole.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There you go.
Whoever has armor and has the lowest AC, I'm assuming I would know who it is. I would give them my +1.
So I got a
thing that I do.
16. Anyone above that? I mean, okay, we already know you, Sarad.
You don't wear armor.
So
But yes, I give you
between
the
Cole
blessing of the
and
Oh, I have an 18. I'm pretty sure.
and what do you have, Mars?
If I'm using my double-bladed, I'm at an 18.
All right, I think I'll take that little bump then. Thank you. Little +1.
That's obscene. I feel like level 1 Demon Hunter and Diablo walking around with a level 70 Crusader. It's just the stripper and the towers.
They told me I could be anything I wanted. I decided to be a castle.
Okay, so got that 17. I'm gonna want to try to find, as I have tried to find everywhere, a +1 bow.
A +1 bow. Okay.
Longbow.
Longbow. Absolutely. Do me a favor. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
That'll be an 8.
Okay. Yeah, here we go.
Because this is the Blessing of the Forge, I can put it for either a non-magical weapon or armor. Would theoretically me putting that blessing as a +1 to his bow make the bow magical?
I would say
the
so.
blessing's on there,
I would say so, yes.
For the duration of the blessing, yeah.
which would be until the next morning, which I can just reassign it again. So it's up to you if you want it for your AC or your bow.
Well, see, here's the thing. Worst case, I have +1 arrows in the worst case scenario. I mean, I used 2 or 3 of them in the last fight because I always go and just do half of them, because we go and you find the arrows from before, so you lose half. So I still have a couple of them, but if I can't find a +1 bow, I'll try to re-up on +1 arrows.
Okay. Here's the question on that. You rolled pretty poorly. It's a large city.
Yeah.
You can spend an hour in the morning, or the day before, right? When you guys first arrived, you can spend, we'll say, like an hour and a half wandering around, asking around, looking to find a place where you could buy one. That is going to turn up not much. I can give you what other items you potentially do find, and let you know about that. Or if you tell me how many hours of the 24th you want to commit to looking to a longbow, I can add those onto your investigation check.
Sirach could get lost.
He could.
He could get lost. I rolled an 8. Say, you know what? He's like, I'll be back, guys. I'm searching for this longbow. 8 hours.
Okay.
He's gone 8 hours.
Sirach's gonna go spend the day searching for a longbow. A +1 longbow. Okay.
See, that's my problem. Is all the like really cool weapon like I've come to find. I've done a lot of research on this, and like there really aren't that many like, at least like officially named like mythic longbows, like that sort of like mythic bows or anything.
Yeah. So rules has written a lot. Not even a lot of magic items are bows. They tell you in the DMG that you have a flaying tongue and it's a sword. Well, you could make it any sword, or I guess you could make it any other weapon if you really wanted to. But as far as like actual bow weapons, I think it's just Sentinel longbow.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Mercer did make his version.
He made
of
something for
the artifact
Vex.
longbow. Yeah. Which was not bad. There are some other ones. So, 8 hours.
I'm walking my little chicken legs off.
Roll me
These are going to be some tough drumsticks, I tell you.
Roll me a percentile.
Okay, 82.
82. Okay, nice. I rolled a 90.
Ah!
I know. So, I'll give you some choices, right?
Let's hear him.
Okay. Since you're spending a lot of time doing this, you can find a cordon, 20 of the +1 arrows, right? You can find half a quiver, 10 of maybe some +2 arrows. Or you can find a magical longbow that adds no bonus to the to hit or damage, but it has a different effect. So, for instance, a longbow of warning or something along those lines.
Okay. That could be fun.
What of that interests you?
Let me see my equipment. Let me see how many longbows Let me see longbows. Let me see how many +1 arrow. Okay, so I still have 22 +1 arrows.
Are you the Mistigan of longbows? You just got them like all strapped to your back in a fan.
Which one it? Ping! No, that's not it.
That's
not it. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with a possibly fancy fun longbow.
Okay. A fancy fun longbow. You rolled an 80?
82.
82. Oof, that too. I hear you. I feel you. I get it.
It's what bumps it up to the next level.
It does. Never underestimate the necessity of that too. 'Cause
Never underestimate the specificity.
It is legit. Yeah. No, you may think I'm joking. I am not joking. All right. Let's find you something that is interesting for this. Apologies. apologies. But we're doing something fun here, so I'm not too sad about it. Let's give this... Let's give this something quite interesting. We're gonna call it a piercing longbow.
Okay.
Okay, and on a natural 20, it is going to deal an additional 7 points of damage.
I am. Sirach can easily be convinced.
So, this is similar to the sword of not wounding. Is it sharpness?
Vicious.
Vicious.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, I know that. Yeah, so it's a vicious longbow. There you go. Like, I know there's a dumb weapon that every time I see it, I'm like, why? Who would want, like, and that's rare? Why is that rare?
Looking at some of the
That does not make sense.
like the fact that like also the instruments of the bards are considered uncommon magic items, but there's literally like one of each in the entire world.
So,
It's just
yeah, because so like it depends on the rarity of it. Some of them are uncommon, some of them are legendary. The bard things. So yeah, vicious longbow. We're gonna give it to you for that. I'm not gonna charge you a rare price for it. I'm gonna charge you. It'd probably be 1,400 gold pieces.
1,400 gold pieces.
Let's make it an even. Well, you took you a long time to find it, so let's do 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah, please.
Oh, son of a gun. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to go begging. I'm gonna remember where I found this place,
Okay. All right.
and I'm gonna meet back up with the group.
Okay.
How short are you?
So I spent everything I had to get the +1 arrows, and then I think I gave in to something we got. I forget who it was, but I gave it a bunch of money to help someone get something for someone else, and now I'm realizing I'm out because I went and clicked on my gold and it said nothing. So Sirach is going to come back and beg, but that'll be in 8 hours.
So, while Sirach is out looking for his longbow, what are the rest of you guys up to?
I'm looking for Athel the Awful.
Athel the Awful. Okay. You do, because you had put out a feeler, you do receive word that Athel will be willing to meet you tonight. If you would like to, he can come to Gaffrin's Hole if you would like, or you can try to find him before that.
Let's see. Does it look like everyone's cool with staying here for another night, or and like gathering information?
Please, we haven't slept in a real bed in so long.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm down for sticking around a couple days here.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll probably just let them know that I'll talk to them later on tonight.
Okay. Arrangement made. What else are you guys up to? It's a ride.
Hi.
Hi. Are you doing anything in particular?
I have to run an errand with treasure.
Okay. You and Treasure run an errand.
Maybe like 3 hours.
Okay. A 3-hour errand.
Yes.
Tauroth?
I am going to start asking around for Lord Lennel Klein, see if I can try to get a meeting with him.
Sure, make a, if you're just asking around, make a charisma-based investigation check.
Oh god.
That would be, let's see, 18.
18. Yeah, okay. So you do some asking around. Lennel Klein is a human noble. Noble is sort of a loose term for this city. There is no king or anyone to like officially grant titles or things like that. But the families that have lived here the longest, that have sort of the most political influence, have adopted those titles over the years, right? And it is a it's just sort of an indication of the prominence not only of the family, but the relationship between the families that have inhabited this city for a long time. And the Kleins are one of those families. They have a brick house on Main Street, not immediately around the bridge, but you'd say maybe like 10 blocks from it. So not far, not too far from it. So they are of moderate wealth, but definitely would be extremely wealthy by comparison to most people. It's only when compared to other bridge lords and city merchants and things like that that comparison starts to fall apart. The other thing that you learn about the Kleins is that they had, for a long period of time, been responsible for citywide police forces and running. They would also run expeditions out to different places, primarily mountainous regions, and so the far mountains, the west, Velxer's Teeth, some of the mountains, east, south, just everywhere around. They had funded multiple expeditions into a variety of places. So that's sort of the rumors and the information you get of them. The last thing I can tell you is that Lennel is pretty young to be a lord. He is late 20s, maybe early 30s. So, you do get his address. You don't know if anyone can necessarily, if he'll see you, but that's what you find out.
All right. He had to probably spend some time just kind of wandering that area, just kind of see where his house is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe see if there's any shops or any stores around there, or if it's just like a residential area.
So the main street is one part old money, one part shop area. A lot of these places have like storefronts on the bottom. The Klein's Manor is a corner place. Their house does seem to have like a storefront, although it is, by reading the sign, it is Klein Co. Security. So that is the storefront that they have. Doesn't seem terribly busy, nor do you see a lot of foot traffic in or around there. The manor itself is about 3 stories, and the upper floors are not, they're fancy in a non-ostentatious way. Well made, a few decorative trims and frills and things like that, but nothing that is overstated. So, I'd say it's probably getting to be around lunchtime. By the time you've dug all this information up and you've made your way over there. So yeah, that's about where you're at now. Is there anything else you'd like to do at the moment, Alroth?
I would probably want to go into the store just to kind of check it out, see what kind of security they're talking about.
Sure, absolutely. As you come walking in, there is a small bell over the door that gives a tingling ring when you open the door and when it slides shut behind you. The door is well made. It is heavy oak, and the glass that serves as like the corner storefront, the door is right on the corner. Inside is a lot of deep, rich woods. There is a counter. Behind the counter is a man who is, you'd figure, late 40s, early 50s. Not overweight by any means, but you can tell, like, in his youth, dude was like a bodybuilder. Like, he was like shredded, and now he's bigger. Like, he still has a lot of muscle. He's still clearly very strong, but it's that older man muscle sort of style to it. So he has that, clean shaven, very well kept short hair. It is almost buzz cut. Like, it's very thin. Half elven by the looks. Ears are ever so slightly pointed, but no effort has been made to hide or disguise that fact. He wears leather armor that is light leather studded armor, and there seems to be a, not quite pauldron, but just a tight-fitted shoulder piece over his left shoulder that has a similar emblem to the Kleinco security emblem that you saw on the windows. Behind him, there are bows and swords and different armor pieces, sort of like a display, kind of store-like. Not the counter he's behind. The counter around the corner has underneath it tools of varying trade, mostly adventuring gear and things like that. So, as you come inside, he looks over across the door. And, hello there. What can I do for you?
Oh, well, I just happen to be new into town. Been hearing some pretty decent things about at least the name behind the store that's associated with it. Just wanted to see for myself what kind of business is being transacted here.
Well, I'm glad to hear our reputation is... And he sort of lets that hang before he just moves on. We offer a variety of security services throughout the town, as well as expeditionary forces. And we also sell gear for adventurers of all skill levels and proficiencies. We primarily do security for trade caravans these days. We have in the past done much merchant security in town, although that is admittedly not as busy a trade as we had done previously. And it has been some years since we have mounted our own expeditions, but there's still a possibility for us to do. What sort of services were you interested in?
At this point, I'd start just a bit of small talk with him, just asking a little more about it, but trying to slip in some thieves' cant to see if he would pick up on it, asking if there's any, talking to the thieves' cant, asking if he's heard anything about any shipments from Vexler's Teeth lately or anything about that area.
Okay.
I mean, if it seems like he's not picking up on the thieves' cant, then I would drop it.
Okay. He make an insight check for me.
$24.
Wow. Okay. You piece together as you're attempting to use the thieves' cant. And question for you on this with the thieves' cant: do you ever actually say the word Vexler's Teeth, or do you try to translate that specifically in cant?
I would probably drop the name once, just kind of talking about the area, because I would at least tell them a little more upfront that, yeah, I am new to the area. I've heard about places like so-and-so and Vexler's Teeth, and then just kind of use the thieves' cant to hint back to that. Okay.
So, a few things. One, you do recognize he doesn't speak thieves' cant. He does. You get the feeling he probably had a friend that spoke thieves' cant, or he did adventuring with a rogue at some point. So it's not completely alien to it, but he has that, like, I know something's being said, I don't know what, sort of look that your other party members get when you start doing it, right? So you know he has like a passing familiarity, or he might know it exists, but he can't speak it and he doesn't understand it. When you say Vexler's Teeth, he gets a little nervous, and sort of like a shopkeeper that is looking around to make sure their boss isn't around. Is sort of the feeling you get.
I'll also kind of look around, see if there's anyone else in the shop.
It doesn't seem to be. Not with nobody you can notice in your passive perception. The shop's pretty quiet. At one point, he does give you, sort of excuse himself from you. A couple of people come in, they buy some crossbow bolts, and he rings them up really quickly. It's, there's also another shopkeep from the back that comes forward that's doing like stocking sort of stuff. It's not busy though, and none of them seem to be Lenel. None of them seem to be in a higher position of authority than this gentleman.
All right, I'll just patiently wait for him, just kind of browse around.
Yeah.
Just kind of checking things out.
Of course.
But as I'm waiting for him, I'll have a few gold pieces in my hand, just for when he comes back to talk.
Yeah, and after a few moments, he does come back and make sure that you are doing well.
Oh, doing just fine. That's very kind of you for asking. And I do apologize if I did come off a little uncouth with what I was asking you before. Just, I've been in a line of business where having to ask things without asking is kind of normal.
No apologies necessary. I appreciate it. I prefer to speak plainly and directly, although different individuals have different sensibilities. So that's more what the issue is.
I can rightly understand that. Now, as for speaking a little more plainly, my companions and I, we are looking to do a bit of expeditioning ourselves. We're just trying to get a lay of the land and figure out, well, if there's any places that might be worth hitting up. And I'll kind of put a couple gold on the table, just kind of slide it towards him, but keeping my hand on it.
He sort of nods. And he goes, I understand. You may find it difficult to encourage the young Master Klein to return to Vexler's Teeth. His last trip there, well, saw him return as lord of his household. So it was an eventful trip, to say the least. He rarely speaks of it, and it is not something we mention much of here. But I know, you know the look in a man's eyes when obsession hits, and they do their best to keep it at bay. Something gnaws at the heart of them.
Oh, I've seen that look one too many times growing up between my pa and my brother.
Well, I suspect he is as cautious about that particular mountain range because of his deep-seated need.
Particular as in he is not okay with anyone else going there, or is it okay to set foot inside it?
He's never attempted to stop other people from going there. He doesn't like talking about it, but it is something of an obsession of his.
Well, considering the name of that particular mountain has come up a couple times in my companions' talks among themselves, I admit I'm starting to get a little bit of an interest in it myself. What do you think the young master would say if me and my group of companions went out there, did our little business, and happened to bring back, I don't know, maybe something nice? Don't suppose there's anything from that place that he might find fanciful?
I'm not sure if it's revenge or just the recovery of his family's remains. 4 brothers, 1 father, mother and 2 sisters.
My apologies and my condolences for not understanding.
No.
And I'll say that part in Elvish, so if anybody's overhearing.
He nods. It's he's speaking very quietly, and he's checking around to make sure Klein doesn't come in. But he at some point he'll like walk you over to the axes, right, in their in their tuxedo shop display, right, in the men's suit stand of armor and stuff. And Lennel's father used to run security for every merchant here. He had sunk a lot of money into expeditions. Velsers has always been something of a white whale of his. Every kid was a hardy, capable dungeon delver. They were one of the premier adventuring groups coming out of this city ever. So, when Lennel returned alone, most of the merchants in business dried up. They lost confidence. If Lennel's father could be destroyed, and mother, all of his older brothers and sisters, there wasn't much hope that he could run the family business, as it were. He's kept us afloat, but his coffers are running dry. I know he's scared of that mountain, but he's probably the last person to have taken an expedition into it.
as we're talking, I figure we'll move over to where the crossbows are, and I'll just kind of be handling one of the hand crossbows they have.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. The sight here and the weighting of this particular wood, you have to admit, the construction is exemplary.
Oh, this is mighty fine construction. Can't say I've been too used to crossbows myself, but I might be willing to give it a bit of a shot. I mean, you never know where things might take you.
So, he does let you know that Lennel does come by and do a lot of the business himself. That's one of the reasons he's keeping his head on a swivel, as it were. That he had gone out to, well, he wasn't really sure what, but he'll be around this afternoon, if not in the early evening before he doesn't go out much.
Well, as it happens to be, I do need to go. Probably get some food with my friends, but I just might be back in the evening to talk a little more about one of these bolt shooters of yours.
I look forward to it. Have a good day.
Thank you kindly. I'll shake his hand and head back.
Okay. How many coins did you give him?
I would have slipped him like 6 coins.
Okay. Make note of it. Thozen, you up to anything in particular?
Oh, I'm always up to no good. I am gonna go shopping around.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
so,
what are you looking for?
First, I'm gonna see if I can find like I don't know what kind of people sell gems. Like
Jewelers. Yeah.
Jewelers, sure. I'm gonna go to a jeweler's. For time and brevity, I'm just gonna tell you what specifically I'm looking for.
Yeah, please.
I'm looking just for amethyst, emerald, amber, and turquoise.
Okay. What value?
Not too big. It's not for any component purposes. It's for something he's working on.
Okay. So amethyst. Let me see. There's actually a chart for this. Amethyst was the first one you said?
Correct.
Okay, so the cheapest amethyst you can find is a transparent deep purple amethyst for 100 gold pieces. What else did you want?
Can that amethyst be turned into rose quartz if it's cheaper?
Rose quartz? Yeah, rose quartz would be cheaper. Absolutely.
Let's go with that.
Okay. Yeah, so you can get like a rose quartz in like a 10 or a 50 gold piece range. Let me put it this way. You can find each of those types. It just depends on the quality of them that you want them to be. Like if you want them to be clear and of good like clarity. I don't know a lot about gems. Then there are certain like minimums, right? So for a clear or transparent amethyst, you're looking at like the 100 gold piece range. You can get them smaller or cloudy or of not as luminescent and get them. The gems usually are coming in the 10, 50, 100, 300, 500, 1,000, 5,000 gold piece ranges.
Got it. So for what he wants it for, the clarity doesn't really matter. It's
Okay.
more the color that he's
Okay.
focused on.
Okay.
Like he
Got it.
really wants that pink, that green, that like orangish yellow, and
Sure.
that blue. And they don't have to be big. Like
Okay.
about the size of a dime at most.
Okay.
Is what he's looking for.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in gems, dimes are still fucking massive.
Well, smaller, half
Sure,
a dime.
I got you. I don't
an
know
eraser.
carrots and claret. I don't know anything like that either. But let me say, if you want them in the 50 gold piece range, I have all those colors. Or if you want them in cheaper, you can do that too.
I'll do them in the 50.
In the 50?
50 each.
Okay.
That
So
works.
yeah, they're Star Rose Quartz for 50, translucent rosy stone, white star-shaped center. What was the other ones you wanted?
Emerald, amber, and turquoise.
So green, yellow, and blue.
And blue.
Yep. So chrysoprase is a translucent green. Citrine is pale yellow. Jasper can be blue, or moonstone would be blue, or zircon.
I'll go with the moonstone. And then with the citrine, can I do something more orange?
Yeah. We can carnelian.
Sorry.
Carnelian. Opaque orange.
That works. All right. So I will get those.
Okay.
And then I would look around. Specifically, I'm looking for boots of Elvenkind, but essentially something to make my armor not as clanky.
Less clanky. Okay. Make me a investigation check.
Delph armor.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Okay. So. You don't find anything stealth-wise immediately, but if you would like to spend a couple of hours looking, you can add that on, and I can re-roll for you.
Okay. I think the last thing I would look for, well, I'm assuming we're all like separate and doing our own things.
Everybody scattered to the wind. So
Perfect.
So you have essentially the day. If you, it just depends on how long you want to commit to wandering around the town.
I'm not gonna wander too much because
Okay.
now that I've bought this, I'm gonna look for a jeweler's kit or jeweler's tools. So somewhere where I can just buy that.
Yeah.
Because I am proficient. I
Okay.
just want to start making stuff.
Yeah, you can find
and
those
after
absolutely.
Perfect. So after I find that, I would go back to wherever we're staying, and I would just stay in my room all day working on stuff.
Okay, so for your investigation check for a stealth assister, do you care what other things you potentially found, or are you only interested in the stealth?
I mean, it never hurts to know what else I found.
Okay.
Like, mainly looking for stealth, but
Yeah,
I'm perusing.
I got you. So you do find a battle axe with a minor enchantment, a +1 minor enchantment on it. You do find you actually do find an instrument of the bard with the Mac-Fuimidh Cittern. Cittern.
Some Welsh bullshit.
Yep. With the Macbob Cittern. That's how that's pronounced.
The Big Mac. Thank you. Okay.
Macbob.
Carlos doesn't even know what that is.
You found some mithril half plate. That interests you. Oil of etherealness, although it's pretty expensive. Greater potion of healing. A scroll of protection from undead. And a +1 short sword.
Okay. Those I'm just gonna admire and kind of look. This is it a bardic instrument? Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, it's an instrument of the bards. Yeah.
I would probably like inquire about it and just kind of like, so what exactly is it? Like, what does it do?
So the person that is selling it is actually part of a traveling like circus troupe, or like it's not full-on circus, like a troubadour troupe. They would go in and play different taverns, and if there's like a field or a festival happening, they sort of have like a pop-up stage. It's a wagon, but it's like a very big wagon.
It's
right?
fish
Sure. Yeah.
with a PH.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sure. So a cittern is like a guitar. I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a guitar. It's the
very long neck.
and sort of a round body.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the animated Fox Disney Robin Hood guitar instrument that
No,
the
that's a
chicken-
lute.
Is that a lute?
That's
That
a
is
lute.
a lute.
Lutes have bigger asses.
Sitars
From-
sitars have huge bars. They're multi-stringed.
They have
Yeah.
much longer necks. It's the opening from Paint It Black
Okay.
by the Rolling Stones. That's a sitar.
Yeah.
If there was some magical device that I can just type it up and look it up,
Right.
that would
Put it in the chat.
An infinite amount of information at your fingertips. Yeah, I know. Cittern. Cittern. You can Google that. So what does it do? Well, it for bards can provide them with spells that they can cast through the instrument, and it serves as a spellcasting focus for them. So it's a big bonus. Not a big bonus, but it's a very useful tool for bards.
I would inquire about it and then I would see how much it is.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Oh shit, I got a +6 on persuasion since when?
You're welcome.
That's a 25.
After a bit of haggling, and you do a tremendous job of not tipping your hand that this is something you want, and you do a nice job of playing off that that it might be cursed or something along those lines. You talk him down from the original asking price of 1,000 to 650.
How about we do it to 600?
650 is pretty hard. Where 625, no, 630 is his absolute floor.
Okay. And then I will take it, and that's it.
Okay, all right, nicely done.
I don't know what I just purchased.
So
It's actually really good. I just looked it up.
yeah, it is a fun instrument.
And it's not Das Lute.
It is not Das Lute. That's the other one that's... Oh, there's a few that are uncommon. So, all instruments of the Bard have the ability to cast Fly, Invisibility, Levitate, Protection from Good and Evil, and this one in particular also has Bark Skin, Cure Wounds, and Fog Cloud for spells in it.
Got it.
So yeah.
Yeah, After that, I would go back to where I'm staying, and I would put that in my bag.
Okay.
If it fits in my bag, I don't know how big this thing is.
Not in a regular bag. If you have a bag of holding, you can put it in there. But this is not a it. You could gift wrap it, but I think it might be obvious what it is.
It's like Harry Potter receiving a broomstick on top of the table that's shaped as a broomstick.
Yeah, it's Troy wrapping a helicopter for Abed's birthday.
Oh,
Or any TV bike.
Yeah, any TV bike.
I totally 100% would do this, and so I would wrap it in like some like nice silks or whatnot that I have in my bag, and just like do my best to make a bow. And then the rest of the time, I would go into my room. I would grab those gems and the adamantine arrows that I still have. I think I still have like 6 of them. I would make earrings out of the gems, and if I'm able to split the gems into 2, then I would create a set of each gem.
Make a dexterity-based jeweler's test.
So what is this? Plus proficiency plus dex?
Correct.
That's 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, I'll say you can probably accomplish 1 gem split and create 1 set of earrings in the afternoon.
Okay, then I'll do that with 1 of them and then just leave the rest for another time.
Yeah, it takes time. It's not hard work, but it's fiddly, right? And it's very small and precision work. So.
Okay, and then I would do that with. Do I know what season Sarai is in right now?
Autumn.
She's in autumn.
Then I would do that with Carmelian.
Okay. Sounds good.
And that's it.
Evening comes. You guys have spent your day doing a variety of interesting things. It's around 6:30, 7 o'clock. The sun is setting as you guys are getting into the later portions of fall. What would you guys like to do?
I would try to find Olaroon for a second.
You find him in Gaffrin's hole, and Olaroon, where are you at? What are you up to?
So I'm probably kind of trying to game plan the conversation to see what I can get out of him. Also, I probably have like a book on Clothis in front of me. I think that's his name. Your god of fate.
Ah, yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I can't remember their name at this. Zothis, that's what it was. Zothis. And I am but yeah, I'm probably just sitting there reading that, trying to think about where to go.
Okay.
Yep, I'll just quietly read over his shoulder for a few lines.
Looks boring and religious.
Yeah. Am I aware that he's there?
Are you attempting to be stealthy, Talroth?
Not particularly, no.
So yeah,
You have to attempt.
I will say
He does it accidentally.
he probably gets the chance to read a little bit before you notice him. Not a lot, but he'll at least be able to get the gist of what you're looking at.
Yeah, and I'll just sit there. I'm like, I hate when you do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you look so enthralled in that book. I didn't want to interrupt what you were doing. I figured I'd just wait patiently till you were ready.
You could sit in one of the chairs that's like right here. You don't have to be over my shoulder, all creepy like.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem. You see, I got a bit of a meeting to head to with, well, assuming he's going to be in that store, a Lionel Klein, where he might have a little bit of information we might need on the Vexus Heath.
Really?
To see if maybe you wanted to come do some talking.
I should. Let's see. How much time do I have until I'm supposed to meet Awful?
You just know he's coming tonight. You don't know
Okay.
how long.
So you said it's about evening time right now?
Early evening, yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to go to the bar. I'll be like, and I'll turn to Talroth. I'm like, Talroth, give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'll go to the bar, and I will turn to the bartender and be like, I have to go for an indeterminate amount of time. I'm gonna try and get it done as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
If Awful shows up, and I hand him 20 gold. I was like, you make sure he does not leave until I get to talk to him.
Okay, not a problem.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You got it.
All right. I'll be back. And I'll turn to Talroth. I'm like, let's do this.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, just making our way back over to Klein Co Security. Hopefully, Lord Klein is there.
Okay. So Roxaride, you guys are making your way in probably as these guys are making their way out. Thozen is upstairs working on his jewelry.
As I get to like the nexus of everyone converging on paths, aside from Thozen, who's upstairs making jewelry.
I'm gonna say like you probably either have to like fly or hustle to catch Talroth and Olaroon. Like you guys are close. You're all coming back around the same time, but you didn't expect them to be like heading out either. So it's possible. Just let me know if you want to do it.
I just to get to the point where he walks up and he's just like, like he is like, he's dirty. He's been walking. You can tell that he's been like just spent the whole day going in 8 different directions only to realize bad news. And he's just gonna be like, hi everybody. Do we have okay, I don't have any more money. And I think I realized that in the shop when I was being shown something that costs money. So I realized this now, as that we've been putting everything kind of into the pile, and I was wondering if I could maybe make a withdrawal from said pile for approximately 1,200 gold pieces.
Do we have 1,200 gold pieces?
I mean, if there were something like a spreadsheet, it would definitely say we did.
I don't look at that. So, I mean, yes, of course.
Oh yeah, we happen to have 84 platinum, 2922 in gold, 7164 in silver, and 874 in copper.
You have that memorized, don't you?
Well, y'all don't let me hang on to the bag of holding that often, so I have to know what's inside at all times. Come on.
Of course. I mean, yes.
I'm fine with it. I don't really buy anything often.
Cool. That's 2. Olarin, what says you?
I mean, if you need it, I say go ahead.
Okay, I'm just looking for a group consensus here, because I'm definitely for it. So if I can at least get a majority who's also for it, I'll feel happy about that.
I'm for it.
Thank you!
Trizzer's a bit occupied at the moment, but she would probably say yes too.
I would assume. Cool. Who has the bag of holding?
Stitch.
where is that son of a? I'll be back, and I'll go to find Stitch to get $1,200.
Okay, you do.
1,200 gold.
Well done.
Tweety's looking for Sylvester.
Yeah, the one time that Tweety's trying to find
Where
Sylvester.
is that putty tat?
No.
Just summon him by putting a glass of water on a table.
He just comes over.
Okay.
But then I will get that 1,200 gold, and I will fly as fast as I can back to the store before they close.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
And when you have an opportunity, I would love a detailed description of what this boat looks like.
Okay. I will do my best. Right, Thosen, do you guys want to... Sarai, are you going to see Thosen, or are you going with Talroth and Oleron?
I could go with... I mean, Oleron, do you need backup or anything?
And he like turns to her and he'd be like, I think I can do this.
I know you can, darling. I didn't mean to... I just didn't know if you wanted me there for anything.
I mean, I'm never opposed to some extra backup.
She'll look at you and Talroth and... I think you two've got this. And I believe in you. And I'm proud of you.
Gosh darn it. People like you.
Starts bleeding just a little bit.
Well, thanks. And I'll turn to Talroth and I'll be like, ready to go?
Yeah, waiting on you. Let's get going.
You guys make your way quickly through the city as best you can, and again, Klein lives on the main road. You guys make your way there. Oleron, you see the corner office that this place is. It looks sort of like a shop. It does say security on the door, so you're not really sure what to make of it. It looks like it could use some more business, that's for sure. Other than that, looks pretty normal. Talroth, when you make your way inside, you see the gentleman that you had been speaking with earlier. They're sort of getting ready to close up shop. They're putting the the merchandise cages essentially over the stuff. You don't see the individual who was working the back room with him before, but you do see another young man. Deep black hair, thick, not quite shoulder length, but long, swept back behind his ears, a little bit of it sort of flopping into his face. He wears a similar studded leather armor piece. His is a near black, but there's a slight bluish tint to it. And so it's very midnight blue. And he's working with his friend, essentially, just going through putting the locks on all the gear, things that are armor, or having sort of window cages put over them, and all of that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, I'll find the guy that I was talking to earlier.
mm-hmm.
I forgot. Did I catch his name?
You did not. You didn't ask. You will have caught his. I'm sure you would have eventually gotten around to it. His name is Sarats.
Sarats.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll look for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you said he was there, just locking stuff up.
Yeah, they're in the closing up process. You're not like the last people But yeah, they're in the process of it.
All right, I'll just calmly walk up to him. Sarat, sorry for coming back so late. A little bit of my business took a bit longer than I expected earlier today.
No, it's not a problem. We were just preparing to close up for the evening. We don't usually close quite this early, but of course, what can I do for you?
Well, and just kind of make sure that we're not really being overheard by anybody. You had mentioned earlier that Lord Klein might be in tonight. If it's possible for me to have a bit of a chat with him.
He gives a little nod, and you watch him sort of look over his shoulder at the other gentleman that is helping him close up. Sure. He walks over there, and he catches his attention. They speak for a brief moment or two, very quietly, very hushed tones, and Sarat's leads Lionel Klein over. He stands up straight, and he sort of straightens his uniform. Part of it is unbuttoned, sort of has the Star Trek movie like flop open kind of half breast thing, and he's buttoning up the double breast of his leather piece as he comes up. Yes, you wanted to speak with me.
Yes. And I do apologize earlier to Sarat if I did forget my manners. My name is Taroth. This tall, handsome fellow next to me, his name is Olaroon. Now, it has come to our attention that there was a bit of an unfortunate circumstance that occurred with a particular locale that's in the area. And that bit of a mountain range has caught our attention for several reasons. Just your name came up in passing several times. Just wanted to kind of see if there was any information that we might be able to purchase or barter for. But also, to my understanding, maybe we might be able to help you out with something about it.
As you're going through these things, you watch his jaw just sort of tighten and clench. And as you mentioned that his name was associated with this place and all of these other, little tidbits, he'll slowly turn to stare daggers into Sarat's. Sarat's, for his credit, has extricated himself from the conversation before, even as you began, and so he has his back completely to you guys, and he is like locking something extremely thoroughly, and and
would I have caught that little back and forth?
Oh, he's not. Lionel is not hiding it. Like as you dance around Velxers, you can watch the anger sort of bubble up in him.
I'll just kind of put a hand up. A lot of what I found out was not within these walls, just to clear the air.
It does a little, probably not enough to alleviate his concerns. And he'll sort of think about it for a moment, and he looks at Olaroon, who hasn't said anything yet, kind of curiously, and he'll step back over to his counters. All right. What do you want to know?
I'll just kind of look over to Olaroon. Well, you know more about what we're looking for than I do, so.
And I look around, and it's clear that we're like by ourselves at this point in time, right?
It's you, Klein, and Surats, and Talroth. That's it. And Surats, Surats will eventually turn around and he'll go and actually lock the door to make sure nobody, and like flip the sign to say closed. Make sure nobody else comes in.
Okay. And I will turn to Klein. I'll say, first of all, thank you for speaking with us. Secondly, I've heard rumors and whispers of rumors of an item of great power located in the depths of that mountain. And I ask if there has been any word of individuals going in search of it, or any expeditions that have been launched. I'm trying to... A mountain is not a small place. That's why I'm attempting to do as much work on this end to avoid the risk of getting lost in the mountains searching for something.
He stares daggers through you for a long, long moment. And then he sort of 1,000 yards stares out past you. And you can tell that there are scenes and images dancing through his mind, that they are rapidly flashing before his eyes. He breaks it and leans down behind the counter and pulls out a bottle of wine of some kind, dark and thick and small and squat, and he'll walk down the length of the bar where a stool is for the shopkeepers, and sit on it. He leans over the counter, and it's the first time you've seen anyone here not be soldier-like or disciplined, and your stomach sort of knots. You feel this vast discomfort, this radiating cloud of unease, of anxiety, sort of fill the room. And he takes a hard slug off of the bottle and sucks his teeth and grits his mouth, and the bitter taste fills it, and he sort of spits off to the side. And he looks at you and he waves you over, both of you. And all right. Well, I don't know of any great power in that mountain. I don't know why anyone would want to go there. The only thing there, madness, death, darkness. No one's been on an expedition to Velxer's Teeth. At least not out of this city. In 7 years. That was when the last Lord Klein's expedition, his great family foray into the Teeth, failed. The mountains are small. They're sharp, jagged, unnatural. If you stand on the lakeside, the entrance is pretty obvious. My dad thought it would be great to free the teeth, open up some minds. He thought the family would do well at it. He was old, he was stupid. We were young, and we believed in it. I don't know what you're looking for. I don't think you're gonna find it there. Have you ever seen the Beholder?
I will look down, and I will look at him. Say I have. In my nightmares.
You know how Beholders are made?
No, I do not.
They dream. They dream each other into existence. You know one thing a Beholder hates more than everyone else?
What's that?
Other Beholders. Except for Velxer. Velxer dreams of having a family. They didn't just kill us. Played with us like we were dolls. Teased us. Played with us. Showed us our home, our house. These walls. City. Dressed us up. Pretended he was the baby. Pretended he was the daddy. Pretended he was the mommy. He needed practice. None of the other Beholders, Velxers, dreamt up. Stuck around. Don't particularly like each other. But he just thought he didn't know enough about family. We tried to learn. I got out. When I saw the chance, I didn't even look back to see if anyone was following. He stares at you. A long, hard, cold, sad stare. Voice cracks. And before the tears drip from his eyes, tips his head back and pours whatever thick amber liquid sits in that bottle down his throat until it drips dry. He stands up, Well, unless you have any more questions. I think I'm gonna do myself a favor and go try to black out.
And right before he leaves, I will say, Lord Klein, I know this is difficult for you to speak of. So, thank you for even discussing this with us. However, I have one final question for you. Please understand that I mean you no harm. There is no violent action that will be taken towards you. I just need to check something. Was there an individual on that expedition that had something that resembled this? And I will summon the sword.
He looks at it. That's where we're gonna take a break.
Ah.
Oh!
So we
That
are.
was.
Sorry, Cole. Guess we can't get your sword now because that's a nightmare.
We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you in just a few minutes. But until then, stay tuned. Evening, everyone, and welcome back. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone. With me tonight, we have...
I'm Cole, and I am playing Olaroon Dawnseeker, an incredibly anxious paladin hexblade warlock.
I'm Megan playing Totally Fine, Sarai Landir, Elegant Glamorbard.
I'm Eric, and I wasn't initially eating pizza, not realizing that we had gone back live on camera. And I'm playing Sirach, the Arakakra Horizon Walker Ranger.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Mars. I'll be playing Talroth Oakenblade, the now going to be slightly neurotic at the thought of a beholder, Wood Elf Scout.
And I'm Carlos. I'm playing Thousand Fahrenheit, the jewelry-making half-orc tiefling forge cleric.
So many words. So many things. Our adventures are in Noble Dractus, Secundus, Segundus, Dractus.
We're in Bloden Stravik.
Ah, there. I apologize. I know my world. I'm so sorry.
We are here to help.
Thank you. Second city of the Blood Gulch River, second city of the bridge, and they are currently, Olaroon and Talroth are having a meeting with Lieutenant Clive, who is a lord of this city, and they were asking him about Velxer's teeth. His family seemingly was the last ones to have ventured into the mountain range, the odd mountain range that is Velxer's teeth. And Klein had just described to them some of the, how shall we put it, horrors that he had undergone in his time there. And Olaroon had just asked him if he had seen. Would you like to describe your sword, Olaroon?
Yes.
As you manifest it, because it's very. So you're asking him about a weapon that I imagine is distinct.
Very much so. So the packed weapon of Dawnbringer is it looks like a almost solid gold blade.
Mm-hmm.
Which is completely impractical in fighting terms.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a diamond located in the pommel. It's got a gilded silver and gold hilt, like wrapped hilt, with like a sunburst pattern on the on the cross guard. And it is a one-handed longsword. There's a lot of gold and silver filigree as well. It looks very ornate. It does not look at all practical.
And as you manifest the blade for him to look at, I'd like you to make and you can do this as well, Talroth. I would like you to make insight checks.
On. First roll of the night. Let's go! 19.
Same, 19.
You watch his face as his eyes cast down, and even as they start to haze over from the rapid drinking and vomiting he's bound to do in any minute. You see recognition in his eyes and on his face. And he just stares at it and says, "No. No one on the expedition had that sword."
I will put it away. And I will remove 30 gold from my pouch. I will hand it to him and I will say, "Thank you for the information and for what you just tried to do." And I'll hand it to him, and I'll turn, and I'll walk away.
He is reluctant to take it, but he does take it.
Yeah, I'll just kind of nod and follow Olarun out.
Okay. Yeah. Doors are open for you. You guys are let back out into the city. Sirach, you get your bow. Congratulations. So it is a relatively simple as far as magic bows go, but there are a couple of very distinct sort of features about it. Almost like a compound bow, right, where the handguard is. So, in case you didn't know, normal old school longbows that are round, the arrows actually wobble, and part of hitting your target is being able to judge the distance on the pull and measuring that wobble, whereas a compound longbow has like a notch in it, and the arrows are designed to fly straight. And it is specifically in that notch, in that draw notch where the grip is, that this bow and around the handle sort of curves, and there are these like fanged kind of protrusions that serve not only as like a sight, you would imagine, but serve to magically propel the arrows as they are launched from this bow, giving it its vicious nature. They are like a chrome metallic, or like a polished steel, maybe not quite as reflective as chrome, right? It's like a matte version of that. The bow has a wonderful tension in the way it fits into your hand, as though it is designed to do so. And it is a long, so it's a long bow. You're pretty short, so when you sling it over your back, it sticks up over your head, a bit, and as the magic adjusts to your size, it comes to rest at a much more comfortable height.
Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Back at the hotel, back at Gaffrey's hold, Thozen, Saride, you're waiting as people are on their way back. Anything special before everybody shows back up?
Knowing that everybody's kind of like out and about and knowing Saride is here, I am going to my dress best, which are literally just a white like peasant tunic like shirt with like brown like splotchy pants.
He
and
owns a shirt?
leather boots. Yeah, he owns a shirt. He just never wears it. Exactly.
Saying, if I look like those, and I would never wear a shirt either.
Girl, if I look like those, then I would never wear one either. So, and then get the cittern. Is that what it's called? That's wrapped, and he's going to put the earrings that he made. He's gonna put one of them on his ear, the one made out of carnelian, and have the other one where the bow is. He's gonna hang it on the bow of the wrapped gift and find Saride.
She's just sitting, drinking, reading. You know, just girly things.
I'm gonna sneak behind her and cover her eyes.
She will scream.
Shh, it's just me. It's just me. Look, calm down.
I don't know where we are. Don't do that.
Sorry. I
It
just,
could have been Tower off.
you know, it's me. Sorry about that. I just close your eyes. I'm gonna set the gift on the table. Are you at a bar? Are you at a table?
Yeah, I'm at the table.
And then I'll just sit across from you. Okay, you can open them now.
What did you do?
I was perusing and thought of you when I saw this.
She'll open it.
Don't lose
She's
that
very
earring.
Careful with wrapping paper, by the way. Like, I realize it's silk anyway, but she's definitely that person that, like, doesn't rip. She finds the... and then folds it. This is amazing! What a... why were you in a music shop?
It wasn't in a music shop. I mean, I like saw it and I was just going around town, going in and out, like not specifically for music. Like I don't know. Like he's just like stuttering and just nervous.
Oh, that's beautiful! My God, thank you. I didn't get you anything. I feel. Oh God, I feel terrible now.
Don't feel terrible for nothing. Like this is just because I wanted to. You don't need to give me anything. You've given me plenty.
Yes, I have. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is very nice.
You're welcome. And then oh, don't do that. Too late.
Don't what?
You started playing. You need to do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh God.
It says a creature that attempts to play this instrument without being attuned to it must succeed a DC 15 wisdom save and take 2d4 damage.
This is awesome.
I forgot to warn you to attune to it first.
– 21.
Okay, perfect. You don't take any damage. Good, because I rolled 2 4s.
That would have killed me.
Thank God. Well, before you play it anymore, attune to it first.
Sit and think about it for an hour.
Yes, just admire it for now.
Just get to
No
know
one's
it.
ever given me an exploding gift before. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a first time for everything. And then the earring, the reason I give you one is because I have the other. And then on times where sometimes you might go off with the expedition that I may not be able to join for some reason or another, like at least there's a part of me with you. And the reason that it is this color is because you're currently in autumn. So my goal is to make one for every season and to make sure that I have a piece of you with me and a piece of me with you.
She's gonna go sit in his lap and give him a hug and not touch the cittern.
No, you could touch it, you just can't play it. But yeah, and then I will order a drink, and then until the rest of the people come here, I figure we could just enjoy the very rare times that we are alone.
This is nice.
Agreed.
We should send them out on weird errands more often.
Yeah, maybe I should send like Delroth to get me some like oil for a lamp. I should probably get a lamp first though.
Get the oil and then send him for the lamp or something.
We'll figure it out. We'll just get rid of them at some point. And that's all we do.
Okay. So, you, the rest of you guys make your way back. Moment of peace passes. Odin,
Very quickly.
when you make your way in, the bartender flags you down and calls you over, and hey, so he's it took a little doing, but was able to get it done. Okay, so he is over there, and he points to one of the back corner booths. And you see the Assassin's Creed Strider hood of obscuring the face of a person, kind of getting like their chin, their 5 o'clock shadowed chin. A mug in front of him, and plate that looks like was a mostly eaten fruit.
Then I will I'll walk over, casual like, and I will slide into the seat across from him, and I will say, "Mr. Awful, I presume?"
That's right.
And I will nod, and I will extend my hand. I will say, "Olorun Dawnseeker, nice to meet you."
His fingerless gloved hands reach out, but rather than shake your hand, grab a small piece of cheese off of the plate and bring it back to his lips. And he slowly sort of face them.
I will put the hand back and just kind of like rest it on the counter, like hands, like arms crossed, like resting on the counter. Sir, I have a few questions that I'd like to ask, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
I've been asking, wondering more about Velxer's teeth. I've heard. Yeah. I've heard there are rumors about that place. I've heard there have been no expeditions since, 7 years ago?
None out of this city.
Yeah. There is something that I'm looking for that may be down there. As far as I know, that's the last location that it may be. and I was hoping to be able to speak with you about it because, according to some individuals, you might be the last person from this city that's been inside.
I know Velxer's. Been in and out of it a few times. Dangerous place.
That's what I hear.
Whatever you want in there must be pretty valuable to. I guess the first question is, how valuable is it to me?
Where this is going, you're like, well, taking away from the fact that I'm the one that's just paid for that meal and that drink that you have in front of you. Say, another 50 gold ought to do it.
And he starts to slide out of the booth.
75.
Keep sliding.
$150.
He'll pause. I think you're overplaying the value of your coins.
What do you
Money
want?
can buy you a lot. But what you want is worth more than money. Let's talk things of real value.
I'll lean back. I'll say, please, enlighten me.
He'll slide back in. His hands sort of steeple. He folds them. What do you want that's in there? Something powerful? Maybe it's religious, personal. You have to understand, Mr. Olaroon. There are a lot of things a man can get for himself if they have the power, or the conviction, or the motivation. See, I'm the best there is at what I do. And what I do, get people killed. I like you. You're young. You're stupid. But you remind me of something. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Velxers. I know how to get in. I know how to get out. I know how to do both alive and dead. There's a reason I know that. Because I've worked for Velxer. You might not like that idea, but it kept me alive. I've done expeditions. I've done them wrong. I've led some expeditions, and I've led them wrong. Because at the end of the day, getting out alive was the most important thing. That's not the most important thing to you, is it? No. You've already asked around. 7 years, let me guess. Klein? His sob story. He was stupid. A little like you. But he believed his old man. Didn't believe me. Shame. Shame what happened to him. Shame what could happen to you. I didn't get paid last time I was in there. I was promised something. If we take you... If I take you in there, and I take you out, I want what was promised to me.
And what would that be?
There's a piece of black iron stuck behind one of Velxer's eyes. It goes somewhere, well, special. I want it.
You know what
I
you're
want
proposing,
every
right?
gem in Velxer's hoard.
You said he wanted what in Velx's horde?
Every gem.
So you know what you're proposing, right?
It depends. How creative are you?
Depends on the circumstance, but I have some friends who can help me see the angles I can't.
You go in there fireballs blazing. You're not coming out.
Didn't think so. I'm confident. I'm not stupid.
Good. Good. Black Key. What do you want that's in there?
Rumors.
What?
Rumors of a sword.
Rumors. A sword. Got a lot of swords.
One's different.
All right. What's in it for your friends?
You want every gem? We take everything else we can carry.
I can steal every gem. You're gonna have to kill him for everything else. That's between you and them, isn't it?
It is.
All right.
You worked with this Velxer. I've heard some things about him.
Whatever you've heard, it ain't half of it.
Is he amenable to conversation?
He loves to talk. He'll talk forever. You just have to entertain him.
Okay. I have to ask you something. In the times that you've been down there, have you seen a blade? Gold in color. Very, most likely placed prominently in his care, if it's down there.
Gold blade. Yeah, I know it.
They give off a light.
Sometimes. When it gets too bright, he drops it down a hole. Deep, dark hole. The rest of the time, it hangs in his armory.
And you can see that, like, when he mentions that he throws it down, that he throws Dawnbringer down a hole, his, like, jaw tightens. Can you get us into his armory?
Maybe. Need a distraction.
That he likes to talk?
Yeah.
So does one of my companions.
Must not like him very much.
As a matter of fact, I care for her a great deal. That's why I'm confident in her abilities.
Meet me tomorrow. I'll
Here?
leave word. And he gets up and walks away.
So DM, quick question.
Yeah.
7 years ago, is that about when I started getting the dreams?
I would say... Yeah. No. No. It was before that. How old is Olaroon?
Olaroon's 19.
19. Actually, so yeah, I was gonna say right around puberty, right around so 12, 13.
So kind of like at the last death. That's about when he started.
You suspect. Yeah. Reasonably close to that. Yeah. It might have been a little before. It might have been a little before this last expedition.
Yeah.
You get the feeling Klein, between the description of Klein and Awful, Klein's expedition probably didn't have the blade going in there, but he probably saw it when he was down there.
Yeah.
There was something about the way he said, like, nobody on our expedition had it, and there was like a twinge of fear as you think back on it. You think that it is that Velxer will wield it in some menacing-like fashion, perhaps.
Ugh. That's terrifying. Then after Velxer goes, I will go back to the table,
Mm-hmm.
and I will turn to them and I will say, at dawn, well, not at dawn, tomorrow, I'm going into Velxer's teeth. Whether you decide to come with me or not is up to you.
I'm gonna clarify for you. Velxer's Teeth is a little further than just a day away. You get
Yeah.
the feeling Awful is like you're going to, in earnest, either start traveling and/or planning what is
Yeah.
happening tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
so
Dawn we plan.
At dawn we plan.
Yeah, exactly. So whether it's dawn or not.
Yeah.
But I, the GM, wanted to be clear on
All right.
on that.
So I will say, I am going into Velxer's teeth. Whether or not you come with me is your choice.
Well, you ain't going alone, you damn son of a bitch. I'm coming with you.
That's why we came out this way, darling.
Yeah, well, that might change when you hear what we may have to deal with down there.
Is this the best place to speak about it, or should we talk about it more in private?
I mean, at this point in time, if it's loud, it's not like, because it's not like rowdy, right?
No, but it's lively. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a dinner rush, It's not like anybody's leaning over. Everybody seems to be pretty enthralled in their own business. You can make a perception check if you'd like to look
Yeah.
around, see if
Is
anybody's.
Awful still there?
Everybody, roll me a perception check, please.
14.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
23.
19.
5.
Okay. Talroth, everybody saw him speaking with Athel. And then, much like the Batman, he got up from the booth and somebody walked like between your vision and he was just gone. Talroth, you do notice there is one person that catches your attention. Sitting at the bar, seemingly having a casual conversation with the bartender, is one of the workers, the person that had been stocking the back room at Klein's that you saw earlier in the day. Is doing a very good job of being subtle and not drawing attention to themselves, but it is a interesting coincidence.
I'm thinking if we're going to be having such a delicate conversation, maybe we might want to go somewhere a little quieter. Maybe up to our rooms.
That works.
Okay.
I take my drink with me.
I take my loot.
Yeah. You guys drop whatever coins are necessary on the table, probably a gold piece each. Partly for the room, partly for the food and drinks, and nothing major. You make your way up to your rooms. Whose room would you like to discuss things in?
I feel like it's only appropriate that we do it in my room.
Okay. Yep. You make your way in there. Yeah, the rooms are decent here. Not tremendous, but decently furnished. The beds are soft and it's bug-free, lice-free. So, you know, it's got some end tables, a little bench that has like a trunk underneath you can store stuff in. Yeah, that's about it.
Are there like Gideon Dygor books in the end tables?
No. Roll me a percentile.
$52.
Okay. Yeah, there is no there's no literature about the pantheons. Definitely not from Rotom. But there is scratched into the drawer where you go looking for it. There is this this like, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to find what I'm looking for. This like scribbling. What languages do you speak?
Elven, Sylvan, Common, and I'm 2 weeks away from learning all of Orc.
Okay, so you are well on your way in the Orcish. There is an omen scribbled in there in Elvish. So it says, and it's very kind of old and broken up, and looks like somebody like carved it with a knife, almost obsessively. It says, in the Dominion's scroll, the citadel of the abyss shall fall when east becomes west.
Do I have any idea what that means?
Make a history check.
What cult room are we in?
It is written in the Dominion scrolls that the citadel of the abyss shall fall when east becomes west.
22.
22. So there is, if you look on your map, there's a fortress of the abyss in the middle of a great crater. This is the first you've ever heard of Dominion scrolls or changing directions.
I hate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, fuck. Continue.
Sarai opens up the drawer, looking around, and just sort of closes it very gently.
Don't go in there. Drawer's haunted.
I will kind of sit crisscross applesauce on my bed. I'm not going to beat around the bush. There's a beholder standing between myself and Dawnbringer. Now, Awful believes that we may be able to distract him. We have not yet figured out exactly how we're going to do it. That's what tomorrow is mainly for. But needless to say, this is an incredibly dangerous proposition, more so than just about anything else we've dealt with at this point. but I am almost certain that what I seek is down there.
So, Beholder, I don't want to be that guy. Are we ready? Are we even able to take on a Beholder?
Is to not have to. According to Affle, Vexler, what is
Velxer.
it? Velxer, thanks. I'm never gonna get that name right.
Got your back, buddy.
Thanks.
Oh no. You will.
Oh, I will. I will get it right.
You
Let me do
will-
my research. Let me do my research.
You will
before-
know
oh,
that name.
No, it's gonna live in my nightmares. Thanks, Cody.
You're
I
welcome.
mean, it already does. It already does, technically. Well, evidently, he is eccentric, even amongst beholders, to the point that we may, provided someone provides entertaining enough, be able to distract him.
Distract him how?
According to Affle, he likes to talk. And from what I've seen, most individuals with great power do tend to enjoy talking about it.
I'm well aware. I've met their kind before,
Oh,
so this will be easy.
relatively simple. But ain't nothing about it gonna be easy.
So, the plan, at least as it stands now, is get Sarai in there and have her talk him to the point where he's distracted. Then we get the sword, and then we all run like hell and hope for the best.
Exactly.
No.
Great plan A. Love it. I'm real happy with it. What's plan B? For when
How
A
about-
inevitably fails.
How about
Excuse you, I'm actually quite good at what I do.
I'm not saying that you not being good at talking. I'm saying the R running away.
I'm not leaving you alone with the beholder.
In very broken Orcish. I appreciate that, but this might be the best idea.
And
How about in
I-
Orcish, I say back, how about he do it himself? Is his weapon we're looking for? We can find the weapon and he can speak to the damn thing.
Make an intelligence check. Provide.
A checker,
Just a check.
just the check?
Mhm.
Would love to, but I closed all my windows. God damn it. Okay. Intelligence.
In my frustration, I may have said it a little fast, so she might not catch it.
Holy shit, that's on 11.
You think you get the gist.
Is that the subjunctive?
You're. I will say the specifics are, like, it happened very quickly, and you're like, you think you follow.
I mean, I'm still, of course, other plans are good, but I'm used to talking to sociopathic megalomaniacs. I'm very good at it, and I am quite distracting, even for a beholder. And I have this fancy new instrument, which will sort of like, I don't know, Price is Right, show it off.
The timing is impeccable.
I can do this. I'm not good at any of the things that the rest of you are. I am not strong and I'm not fast, and I'm too weak to wear armor. I can't fight. This is the one thing that I can do. And darling, if it will help you, then I want to do it.
And I turn to Thosin. And I look at him, and I look him dead in his eye.
The messed up one or the good one?
Both of them. I don't give a shit.
Rude.
And I will say,
It's
I mean,
very.
it's true.
I will say, frankly, I'm offended that you think I would just leave her there by herself.
With all due respect, you have been seeking this for a long time. And I do not know what you would 100% do in order to obtain it. I'm sorry, but I'm just looking out for what I treasure most in this world, the same way that we are seeking out what you treasure most. It is not out of disrespect. I'm just looking for the best outcome where we all survive.
Well, Thosin, my idea was that if it gets to this point, it would be me, Miss Saride, and yourself speaking with this Vexler. Whilst
Who's going to look for the sword that none of us know what it looked like but you?
I know what it looks like.
I turn and look at Talroth, and I will say, him and I have spoken at length in terms of its design, what it looks like, what it should do. I mean, he should probably not touch it directly, but if there's anyone that has a chance of getting to it, it is Talroth, and perhaps our winged friend here. I know what I'm good at, and sneaking around is certainly not it. Therefore, I will assist you as a distraction and defend you if need be.
So the three of us are going to walk in there as the most ill-matched family to go talk to this beholder, while Sirach and Talroth find your blade?
Sirach, Talroth, and Affle.
Right, that thing. What was he? Was he human? Was he elf? Did he ever take his hood off?
Nope.
That's some fey bullshit. I hate that.
He
What?
was Batman Mouth.
Oh, fuck, man. No, because now we are the Suicide Squad.
We 100% are at this point in time. Yeah, and as I said, this is just a preliminary plan. Hopefully, we can get more. We should get even more information tomorrow, and then we will be able to fully flesh it out. But this is just so that we do not go in there without any idea of what we're doing.
All right.
Done very well. I'm just staring right back at Aloran.
And I'm staring right back at him.
I think she'll kind of get between them. I think we've discussed about as much as we can for the evening, and tomorrow we'll start to plan, right? And she'll look at Sirach and Talroth like, please help me. I
Of
can't-
course, yeah. Planning tomorrow, sleep tonight.
Yes, so I think it's best if we all just go to our rooms and wherever, you know. Talroth found a lovely little brothel just down the street, actually. Prices aren't bad.
Excuse you, but no. I'm actually backing Olerun on this one. Because if we want to plan tonight, I said we start planning a little bit tonight so we ain't caught with our pants down with Awful tomorrow.
Or at
And
the brothel.
probably one of the first times you guys see Talroth just
dead serious, no jokes. He's a little upset.
All right, so we know what the first plan is. What's the second one?
Well, go ahead.
Before we start talking about second plans, I still want to kind of flesh out a little bit of that first plan. Now, you mentioned that potentially me, Sirach, and Awful.
Yes.
Do we happen to know where we'd be going? Say, can we trust him to at least send us to the right spot to find Dawnseeker?
That he has been in and out of that mountain multiple times. He knows how to get in, he knows how to get out, and most importantly, he knows how to get in and out and stay alive. Which I believe is our primary goal.
Alright, so as long as we know... Shit. You know where my concern is going to be with all this. I mean, if we're talking about breaking and entering and trying to find something specific in there, are we going to be so sure it's going to be kind of bright, like front and center, or are we going to have to search around for it?
And you said that that I could assume that Vexler had the sword relatively prominently placed, correct?
Unless he threw it in a pit today.
Yeah. According to Affle, that sword is either prominently placed in his armory, or it pissed Vexler off to the point that he threw it down a hole.
That's where part of my concern is going to come in. Because if it's down some hole, well, yeah, we're going to need Sirach to fly down there and find it. And at this point, I'm just going to kind of pull out a wand and just kind of scratch behind my ear for a second. Just kind of twirl it on my fingers.
Zoraid, you do recognize that particular wand.
What is that wand?
I believe it's your mage armor wand.
What? Fuck you! Where did you get that? Give it back!
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I a little too sneaky about it? And I'll hand it back.
Slapping you right across the face.
This is...
Hold on. If you wish to move, she'll have to roll and make an attack roll.
Yeah, I'll lean away from it.
Go ahead and make a strength-based attack roll, right? You can add your proficiency bonus to it. I think that's the new rule. Everybody's proficient.
I always slap with my weak characters.
Stunning strike.
Ten.
He dodges out of the way.
It's alright. It's okay. I mean, he's proved his point. He can be very sneaky.
In Elven, if you ever touch me or my things again, I will hurt you in ways that you can't imagine.
I'll just pull out my notebook and flip to a certain page. 26. Oh, number of times I've been threatened with that same one. Sorry, I've just been keeping count over the years.
Marches over to Thozen, puts her head in his shoulder, and just screams.
A slightly muffled scream rings throughout the room.
Okay, so how are we planning this? Like, I know that I can make Zoraid very charismatic. I have spells for that.
And I can assist Talroth with becoming even more sneaky. like that needs to happen.
And I will let them know that also, like, if that thing, if the sword is in a hole, you're going to know about it. Because you'll be able to see it shine from that hole. Because that is when Vexler throws it down as if it's too bright for him to deal with.
All right.
Has anyone dealt with these? I've heard of these creatures, but I don't know much about them. Do we know, like, what they're weak against? Do we know what makes them vulnerable? Like, anybody?
Would like my dad have told me about him facing down the beholder of blah 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 blah.
Make a history check. If anybody that wants to try to recall some history or arcana are the appropriate rolls here. They are not natural in any way, so nature does no good for you. But if you guys are interested in trying to recall some specific beholder information, you may attempt to do so.
So that's a 13 on the history check.
Okay.
Same, 13 history.
Okay.
Sorry, 21.
Okay.
I wouldn't have come across anything these with, like, in my survival training. Like, if you come across these, run.
I'll give you survival at disadvantage because that's more about the environment that the beholder would live in as opposed to the beholders themselves.
Okay, then that's a 15 for me.
Okay. 13, 15, 21. You guys piece together, you know a little bit about beholders. They make good stories, good bad guys. They are alien. They are weird. Anybody that's tried to talk to one ends up just thinking they're quite insane. They are, so, what you know about beholders. They are giant floating eyeballs. Just like a basketball of teeth and eyes. They are very difficult to sneak past and around. They're usually extremely vain, and each of their eyes tends to shoot magic. They have no legs, they have no arms, so they do everything by magic. So, Ride, I will let you know a couple of things. You know, in specific, they have no specific weaknesses. They also have no specific strengths. The average beholder. You're not sure how average Velxer is, but or what an average beholder is, but there you go. Other things. You do know about the anti-magic cone from its main eye. That if it's looking at you with its main eye, it cancels out magic.
Cool.
They have a regular adult beholder. They're manifested as adult, but usually have 10 eye stalks with a wide variety of abilities, some of which can turn a person to dust. They're not terribly fast, hover at about 20 feet per round. Smart, intelligent, charismatic, wise. Like, they're big brains. Illithids hate them. Mind flayers. That's about what you got.
Do we know any mind flayers?
Do we know any what?
Mind flayers? Illithids?
You know, I'm not sure that we do.
Then I'm out of ideas.
When you say cone of like anti-magic, is this like that we cannot cast spells in this cone, or is it that they dispel all magic in this cone?
Both.
Both.
So needless to say, if I cast a spell on you, it'll be null and void then. I was thinking of enhancing your abilities, Eagle Splendor in specific, to make you more charismatic. But
I mean, I'm pretty charismatic already.
this will give you advantage on your charismaticness.
Do we know if that spell is tied directly to Thozen, or would that be directly towards, like, would it be negated if the magic cone was directed at Thozen or Sarai?
On the subject. So he could not cast it while he was in the cone, but if it's the same way, if he puts his you enchant something, like a magic item ceases to work in the anti-magic field.
I have plenty of abilities that will make me a little more shiny. And they're abilities, not magic. So
I wonder, you said that he has eye stalks that can do crazy magic firing, right?
yes.
Do they work if you're in the cone?
Yes, I believe so.
With over 20, I will let you know the anti-magic cone does disrupt its own eye beams.
No.
So, directly in front of it is both the least and most safe place to be.
Yes, in theory.
I'm assuming not being around it would be the most safe place to be.
Yeah, like, yes, here in town, as opposed to directly in front of it, a lot safer. But in this situation of being behind it or being in front of it, you might want to be in front of it.
Yes, and it doesn't move terribly fast, so in theory, if it course corrected, you could as well.
Well, if and it does come down to having to square off against this thing, which that is probably plan Z in my book.
Most definitely.
What about just starting to cut off some of them eyes? Could that work?
The man in my head, what do I think? Does anyone else's thoughts sound like a dude, by the way, or is that just me?
Always.
Mine has a weird accent. It sounds like it comes from the Southern Isles area. It's real nice. Always telling me things would be super smooth. I
I
like
think in
it.
Lundis, it's weird.
Yeah. So removing an eye stalk is, I suppose, theoretically possible. It'd be as hard as trying to cut off somebody's arm as you were fighting them.
So it would mechanically be like a called shot.
Yeah, there are specific magic items that have the ability, so like Swords of Sharpness or Vorpal Blades is what have like actual game mechanics to removing arms and limbs. If you were going to attempt to do it without the benefit of that magic, it would take a called shot with a critical hit to get a chance to remove something. And I would have to set like a damage minimum essentially, because it's literally like trying to cut off somebody's arm above the elbow, right? And
While they're moving.
yeah, while they're moving, like they're not gonna let you do it. You know what I mean? So, and none of you have lightsabers. Like I wish it was. If we were in Star Wars, then yeah, take a hand off. Like that's just like, it's required, right? At some point, you have to lose a hand.
You can't be a protagonist with both hands.
Right? No. Yeah. That's how we know Ray was not the one, because she got to. That's how we know Ray was the one. She got to keep both hands. I just talked myself into it. I was gonna go the other way, but then I was like, what? She has both hands. What?
Lord.
So, I kid. Yeah. So in combat mechanically, I would say it's very difficult.
So, what about? I'm just throwing ideas out there. Sorry. I have the ability to blind people, but I cannot be in this magic cone. If I am able to blind him, would theoretically any of his eyes be cancelled out?
I believe.
What do I think?
Granted, this is it's a long shot because
You're not sure, because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So like if you attempted to blind him in general, be 8 eyes you're trying to.
yeah, because it'd be the
not
spell
10
blindness.
10 yeah, it's 11 eyes. But if you're casting the blindness spell,
It says a creature. Choose a creature.
yeah.
to defend
Yeah.
me.
No,
But I mean,
the blindness spell might work, but
I'll prepare it just in case.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you think it would stop its eye rays, maybe.
I figured
Do I
it'd be
know-
something like he could still like shoot them, but he'd have like disadvantage on like attack rolls or something, or advantage on saves against some of them.
That might, yeah, maybe. You're not quite sure. Yeah.
Do I know if disintegrate comes standard with every beholder, or is it varied?
Beholders do have variations in their eye stalks. Disintegration is one of the most common ones.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just throwing ideas out there because there's a lot of spells that Branos grants me, but that I have to kind of pray for them.
Yeah.
And I'm
absolutely.
assuming we're not doing this tonight.
No. This is not tonight. I have one last question because I don't want you guys to. You guys are gonna have the full week to plan with your party. With the other members. We may do like a distraction game and a stealing game to see. We can talk about it, plan for it. The last thing I will ask Olaroon is, do you tell them what Awful wants as payment?
Yes, I do.
So Olaroon does describe to you that behind one of the eyes of Velxer is a black iron key that Awful wants as payment. I will go ahead and tell you guys this so that you can plan with some of Awful's information there. The reason he asked for all the gems in Velxer's hoard is that Velxer has put all of the gems on a Velxer statuette, a bust Velxer. So it's easy to carry.
Can we check in? Can I see if I know what that black iron key is for?
Yeah, make a history check at disadvantage.
When you say it's behind his eye, do you mean like literally behind the main eye there is a black iron, behind one of the eyes in the eye stalk, like inside the creature there's a black iron key?
That seems to be what he's indicating, yes.
Then how does he want us to get? Never mind, I'm good, don't worry about it.
So, Olaroon, so essentially, we want to charm this thing, steal from him, come back to him, kill him, and pull this key out as payment. Why don't we just run in and kill the damn thing?
According to Awful, the key is sometimes in an eye stalk, sometimes on a key ring on one of the eyes.
Yeah, and also, Because if we go in there guns blazing, we're immediately at as much of a disadvantage
Let's go with
as
key
we
ring.
could possibly be.
Go
Yeah.
with the key ring thing. Key ring on the eye stock. Megan, what did you roll?
15.
15. There are Black Iron in specific has like anti-fey sort of memorances.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Specific keys that are Black Iron. Nothing. There's a few that are mentioned, but nothing that seems important or pertinent for this.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna go in there, distract him while y'all go downstairs and find the sword, and then we're going to somehow coax him out of his key.
So, Affle getting the key is up to Affle.
I thought that was the price of his help.
I don't think that's his plan.
Olaroon. Did Awful say what exactly his part of this will be? Say what he wants to do? Is he just showing us in, or is he going to help throw down?
That's what the conversation tomorrow is supposed to be about.
I can, without getting into the full conversation, so that you guys have some information to plan with. Just Olaroon, your feeling that you get from Affle, you suspect if he had his way, he does not mind trying to steal from Velxer and leading you through what is probably a trap-laden dungeon, but he won't openly fight him, because if this goes wrong, he's gonna like either sell you out or go back and work for Velxer later. Like for this to go right for him, he needs to get these things without his participation known.
I will relay that information to the rest of the party.
Sorry,
Alright.
I don't mean to cut short the roleplay and stuff. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys information you need and not stopping you from being able to plan more or less.
Because we're gonna be planning all week long. to
Yeah.
figure this out.
And I want you guys to be able to plan. So if you have any questions about Awful or for him, you can ask me. You know.
Okay. Cool. Because one of the things that I was thinking is that Affle has worked for Velxer before, which means that Velxer is not opposed to doing business with what he probably views as quote-unquote lesser beings. What we need to do, and what I'm hoping you can do, Miss Sarai, is whilst Sirach and Talroth are attempting to locate the item, we figure out what Vexler needs, what he wants.
Velxer.
Velxer, thank you.
Remember what I told you, when they're hostile, you give them what they want.
Right.
When it's someone you care about, you give them what they need.
And hence exactly why I recommended you for this situation.
Olaroon, Tarlin, you know I will do anything I can to help you. But just give it a thought. If we're doing this so that you can have this weapon, if you start making too many deals and giving up too much to get it, are you really worthy of holding it?
And And he like kind of stops. And he looks. I don't want any of you guys to get hurt.
We don't either. And that's not what I'm talking about. I personally have no problem going in there and selling what's left of my soul to a beholder. It sounds a little fun. And it's been a while since I've had a good long conversation with the megalomaniac. I don't mind. But my kind don't mind those things. All around you do. So just be careful and think about what it is you're doing and what it is you're trying to offer.
Stops and he goes, I'm not going into this situation with my eyes closed. I know there is risk for everything, not just physical risk. I'm prepared for the consequences, whatever they may be. So, I know what I need to do, and I know what I want to do. And what I want to do is ensure that Dawnbringer's light is brought back to Lickdrocht. Because I believe that it will be sorely needed.
All right. If you guys are good, I think that's a great place to stop for the night.
Agreed.
Awesome. So thank you guys in the chat. Thank you for everybody for joining us. It was a wonderful night. Lots of role playing and you guys getting to chat and discuss things. I hope you all enjoyed it. Oh, Carlos left early. I know he's having internet problems, but we love him. We love our buddy. So thank you guys for hanging out. Yep, I see you. We're gonna see you guys next time. But until then, be cool.